Welcome, welcome everyone. You're listening to Showtime Radio Time. I am Sweet Rascally Rabbit, broadcasting to you live in your sweet, beautiful ears, no matter how ugly you think they are. With me is a special guest.
Yo.
His name is Kelly Betz, and he helps out with NoCoast Raps. Welcome.
I have perfect ears.
So you like that, huh?
Yeah.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. Man, I haven't seen you in like ever.
Yeah, totally.
So, what do you do with NoCoast Raps?
Shoot, what don't I do? NoCoast Raps is a YouTube channel and an organization that hosts live events. And I help organize them. So I book the artists, I film the event, and I DJ the event, I host the event, and then after it's done, I edit the videos and release them.
Nice.
I think that's it. And I recruit and help build talent. You know, I help workshop talent. So when we find somebody, I help coach them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you find these recruits?
All different ways. I go to tons of rap shows and I go to comedy nights. And there's been some comedians that I've converted into rappers because of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some people do their best rapping because of comedy.
Yeah. And the rap battle that we have on, the girl was an actress. She had never rapped before, and she was only an actress, or she'd never rapped in public.
Right.
A lot of these people, they rap in their living room, they rap to their friends, but they never do it in public, and then we kind of like push them into it, you know.
Yeah, like my sister Elizabeth.
Like your sister Elizabeth.
She never rapped before until I think that moment.
Yep.
I actually brought it up with her the other day because we got to hang out, and she's like, "Yeah, don't remind me."
I liked it. I think it's fun.
Yeah,
you know,
she did really good.
When you're an amateur, everybody knows you're an amateur, and they don't expect you to do amazing. A lot of times, I think people just like watching what happens, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
So,
like, how long have you been with NoCoast Raps?
From the very beginning, I helped start it with my friend Pompey 6 years ago, the summer of '09. And I guess I might explain what it is.
Yeah,
since people are already watching
course,
it. Yeah,
of course.
Or for those that can't see it. It's a rap battle league, which means that it's not freestyle, it's written and organized or written a cappella raps. And if you've never seen a rap battle before, I know you have, but some people might not have.
Right.
It's similar to a comedic roast. So it's two MCs going head to head. The rappers make fun of each other and see who can outwit the other ones.
Yeah.
And they know that they're going to battle each other, much like a MMA fight or a boxing match. So they're training for each other, and then when they finally meet up, they do everything that they've prepared to do.
Yeah.
And people come from all across the country to do it. We've had people from almost every state, from Miami to New York City to LA, Seattle, even Alaska and Hawaii. And obviously all through the Midwest as well as Texas. I mean...
That's impressive.
Yeah, almost anywhere that you can think of, people have come here to battle for us. And we've had some of the most famous rap battlers of all time come here and battle.
So really, it's all coast raps.
It is, I know. We really screwed ourselves. Yeah, we set the bar low, and then we hurdled it very quickly.
Yeah.
But we were one of the first... Well, it used to be, just to kind of give you a quick rundown... Like the movie 8 Mile, I'm sure is everybody's reference.
Yeah.
That's how rap battling used to be. And it still is to some extent, but it used to be freestyle tournaments held locally and occasionally nationally. And now rap battles have become a global phenomenon, and they happen in every major city and most small cities too. But we were one of the first rap battle leagues to pop up. We were one of the first 5 leagues ever in history. At that point, I think Toronto, Miami, and New York City had leagues, and maybe they had one in California, and then we started. And so it was kind of like a fluke, kind of us just jumping in and doing it, because we saw it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And, it was my idea to get this thing going, and we had it in the park, and now 6 years later, we've been in just about every venue in town. We've done almost every venue that there is. and still going strong. And now we not only host events in Columbia, Missouri, we also host them in St. Paul and Minneapolis, Minnesota, as well as Chicago, Illinois, and St. Louis.
Yeah, I recall you telling me that you're doing it in St. Louis.
Yeah, so we refer to those places as branches of our league, and so because we have really strong connections with the talent there, we have local people from those areas help set up those events, and so we just opened last weekend our St. Louis branch, and we just had our first event there, and we're already planning our next one for January.
And last weekend meaning like October, what was it?
It was the 7th.
The 7th? Okay.
Yep.
Just for those who are listening in November.
2015, for all you in the future.
Right. So, do you ever get to do it yourself, the rapping?
I do. A lot of lately, for the last couple of years, it hasn't been something. I don't perpetuate myself as a battler.
Right.
I usually perform. I do a rap set at the event, just me rapping over beats. But then there's been a few occasions
where people don't
people
come
can't
in.
make it. Yeah. And so like usually the night before or 2 nights before, we hear that like, hey, this guy from Chicago was going to battle a guy from New York, and the guy from New York can't come. And so would you want to just basically hear what he has to say? He's had a chance to prepare. He's been preparing for months.
Yeah.
And he's going to adapt that material to match me, but then I'm going to just wing it. And I'm just going to write as quickly as I can. And I guess not to brag, but I've always been a very quick writer, and I'm good at getting things done. And so when it's time to write and solidify it and memorize it, damn it, I do it. And
Same here.
And so it's when it's time, it's time. And I've been able to do that a few times, and I've had mixed results, I guess. So I think my performance end lacks. I think that I like my material that I've prepared, but I could have said it better if I had more time to practice. But I still get it off, and so. But yeah, I mean, basically, almost since the beginning, that's been my position: is filling in these empty slots. Because I'm not trying to use this as a vehicle to promote myself as a battler. I am using it as a vehicle to promote my music, though. KellyBetz.bandcamp.com. Hear my music. Kelly Betz, KellyBetz.bandcamp.com. And I do alternative rap.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Ruth does Bandcamp as well, too.
Bandcamp is great. They give you a ton of free downloads. You can stream it for free. You can upload your own art. It's very much a blank slate when it comes to uploading music. So whereas Facebook, some other things, they kind of want to lead you in a certain way. Bandcamp is just, make it your own.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
When these MCs are rapping, do they sometimes take offense to what the others are saying?
Ooh, good question. I'm trying to... the fact that I have to think right now if it's ever happened should tell you that no, it really doesn't. Generally, 99.9% of the time... at the end of the battle, people will say the meanest, I hope your mom dies, you know what I mean? People say some whatever you can think of, it's been said. And then after the battle, they shake hands, they hug. Most of the time, dudes hug after the battles, because they're like, it's a collaboration, in the end, you're in it together. The other guy has to do good to make it a watchable video, and so you're happy when your opponent does good. You just want to do slightly better than him.
Yeah.
The audience has taken offense to a few things, but that used to happen more often kind of back in the day when the people that were showing up were kind of random crowds, just there to see a battle. And now people know who we are, and people that show up are like the NoCoast fans. We have 50 to 100 just people that come to every show, and they're there. They've been seeing it for years. They're in their mid-20s, so they've been doing it since high school. This is a tradition for them to go to a NoCoast show. And even if there are some new people there, which there always are, I think they kind of pick up on the vibe from all those regulars there that this is something that should not. It's no bother. You know what I mean? Everything's said in jest. It's all just a joke. It's all just a big game. Even when people people do take that angle of trying to offend sometimes. I think, but even then, it's it's just an angle. You know, it's like if you're playing a chess game and somebody was being really aggressive in chess and took your queen out really early, and then you'd get super angry. It's just a chess game. You know what I mean? Like, be mad at the game. Don't be hate the game. Don't hate the player.
Right.
Yeah. I wish I had an anecdote of somebody getting offended. But I really can't think of one.
It's fine. Like, you don't have to memorize it off the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
The times you've done raps, like, are there any ones that you've done that you wish you hadn't?
Ooh, just in my performance, I think I've had material that I think could have, you know, sold better if I was able to be angrier and more believable, you know, and I'm getting a lot better at that. I've done 15 a cappella battles now. Dang. I actually just counted. I was getting ready to come over here taking notes and everything, and I've done 15 battles, and so at this point, it's easier for me to get in character, you know, of like,
yeah.
I know it's predetermined that you and I are rapping together in the same video, but I'm so angry at you. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like professional wrestling in that way. I've said some really racist stuff, and I probably should regret that, and I might later in life. But again, it's all just a joke. I'm definitely not racist, and I'm like radical left wing. You know what I mean? Like politically, and I'm all about, you know, civil rights and all that stuff. And conversationally, I would never tell a racist joke, especially one based on a stereotype. But in the context of a rap battle, I mean, call me old-fashioned, but that seems like the right time to make a racist joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you're supposed to be disrespectful and pushing buttons. And so I guess if there's one... I don't regret it, but I definitely went in feeling iffy about it. Which was me versus this guy Blaze, who now has changed his name to Epic One. And he's an Asian dude. Very cool. He's from Rockford, Illinois, which is outside of Chicago.
Nice.
And I got no problem with him, but that was the problem, is I didn't have anything to say to him. And so it was just 3 rounds of racist Asian jokes. You know, just like all sorts of stuff. Like, another rapper from out of town was this Hawaiian guy that I ended up doing a song with him. Everybody knows, and I'm a big fan of his. And I'd been kind of hosting him up, like staying with him all weekend. And so he's an Asian, he's Hawaiian, you know, so he's like Asian, you know. He's like full-blown Asian guy. And I've been hanging out with him for like 2 days straight. And then at one point we're like sitting there with each other, and I'm writing this racist stuff towards Asians. You know, I'm going mad on this notepad, you know, like just like thinking of every racist joke I can, sitting with this guy who's the race I'm making fun of. And so it definitely like felt counterintuitive, but not immoral, you know.
Right,
it didn't like feel wrong. It just was like, well, life's weird, huh? You know, like, you know. But he you know, he loved the material, and I think everybody was happy with that battle. So yeah, but yeah, I don't really regret what I've said. There was another time, just going with the racist theme, where an early battle, like the second battle I ever did a cappella on camera, was versus this guy named Static, and it was at Mojo's, and it was like a predominantly black crowd, and I said, he just said something that referenced like he calling me Eminem out of 8 Mile or whatever, and so I like flipped that and then was racist, you know what I mean? I was just like, you know, like, oh, white guys have taken over hip hop, you know what I mean? Like, and like I don't think that, obviously.
It kind of has.
I just said some wild shit to flip what he had said, and then afterwards, word got to me that some guys in his crew were gonna jump me outside. They were like, "Oh, you don't leave yet. Don't go outside, because these guys are gonna jump you because they're mad at what you said, you know, about the racist stuff, you know." And so me, partly being a peacekeeper and mostly being an idiot, I just went right outside and I went straight up to the guys that I had heard about, and I was just like, "What's going on, guys? You know what I mean? Did you like the band?" You know what I mean? Like, and everybody was cool, you know. Like once it became a reality, they were like, "Oh, it's not worth it." You know what I mean? So, luckily, you know what I mean, that wound up going well. But yeah, you know, I just like to nip things in the bud, and I think that also just sent the message to them that I clearly didn't mean it. You know, it's like, hey, you know, we're just, you know, just a battle, you know, just a little rap.
So here's another thinker. Like, what do you think you would be doing if you hadn't started NoCoast Rap?
Oh, well, you know, probably more punk music or some other form of music. I
just can't escape it.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, that's. I kind of freaked out when you said, I'm like, there is no alternative, you know, like, it's too late. We tried to quit, you know, like, I tried to stop doing No Coast, and it just sucks me back in because I just love it. But yeah, like, as long as I've been rapping, which is 12 years publicly, I've been rapping for 12 years.
Wow.
And doing the battles for half of that. I've been battling myself for 10 years publicly, like on stages and in front of crowds.
Yeah.
And not just my mom, you know. So I've been battling for 10 years, but even before that, that goes even further back to me being like a preteen, is being involved in punk rock and playing drums, bass, guitar, singing in different punk bands and playing basement shows. And first punk show I ever played was in a barn, you know. Like,
That's awesome.
We would just scrap together whatever we could, and then it was like Nights at Columbus. I played
nice.
one as an early teen when I was 15. One of the first ones I set up was in a community center next to the library, which is not very punk rock, but I was doing what I could, you know, at a very young age, organizing those and also filming those, you know, filming kind of like Jackass type stuff, you know what I mean? Like doing stunts, you know, hurting myself, like, you know, eating gross stuff and throwing up on film. And so I've always done music and I've always filmed it, and battles just as like a culture where it's very normal where filming is part of it. So I've been drawn the most into that, and I think I always loved lyrics, and it's the excuse to really geek out, to be like a lyrics nerd. You know, that's the place, because if you look at a song, you know, a normal song has, what, 1 page, you know, of lyrics, you know, well, I don't know how many words that is, but like 100, you know, less, I don't know. And you look at a rap song, and depending on which one it is, that could be 10 pages.
Yeah.
You know, there's battles online people have annotated, and it's pages and pages and pages. You just scroll and scroll. I guess I'm getting kind of off topic, which is, yeah, I would be doing rock and roll in some aspect. I'm recording a folk album right now. And so
that's interesting.
It's kind of a weird question to ask, because you're like, what would you be doing if you weren't doing battles? And I already am doing a bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I've just written a concept rock album that I'll play guitar on, that I just rented a practice space to get a band together to be behind me in a rock opera kind of concept EP.
That'd be interesting to listen to.
Yeah, I
I'd
think
like to check that out.
It's very emotional. It's very the opposite of rap. You know, rap is very
like
hand on your nutsack, just like, you know what I mean? And then the stuff I'm writing is the opposite. Is just like things I would be ashamed. I'd be like too manly to even like say to my friend. You know what I mean? Like, this is like super personal, you know, spilling my heart out kind of stuff. Which is also similar to what my acoustic music is like, which I'm recording right now. And that's going to be out pretty soon. The concept album is going to take a long time to put together, so who knows? That'll be 2018 or something. I don't know. Not really.
Not that long.
It'll be a while. For the future. You listeners in the future. But the folk album will be out very soon, and that's called 10 Short Songs About Longing. Even though I think there's going to be 15 songs on it. I'll see. I don't know if I want to change the title or not.
Yeah, maybe it should just be Longing.
Longing. I know, but I want the short songs about longing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's actually a great title for it. Just short songs
without, without the number.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But that's going to be out very soon, and that's actually, like, got some country songs on it, which I never thought I would do. But
no kidding.
I never thought I'd be a rapper either, you know?
That's
like,
true,
I still feel weird if I meet a stranger, and they're like, you know, what'd you do this weekend? I'm like, oh, I just got back from Chicago. What did you do in Chicago? Well, and I'm like, you know, I'm using this voice. I'm like, you know, the whitest voice possible, you know, like, well, I hosted rap battles and performed a hip-hop set, you know, like, I DJ'd for some rap battles and then I rapped. You know, like,
has it come to
weird.
the point where strangers come up and say, "Hey, I know you from NoCoast"?
Definitely, it's been like that for a while. Yeah, I'm definitely a local celebrity, slowly turning into a Midwest celebrity, and
Yeah, I'm actually slowly becoming a local celebrity.
I'm sure.
Because of commercial I've done.
That's awesome. What commercial was it?
It was Special Olympics to promote Over the Edge.
That's awesome. They didn't make you jump off a building.
No.
Okay, good. Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
That's this Saturday.
Something I've said to people before is that the best thing about the best reward that I've gotten back from all the work I've put in has been multiple times I've gone to rap shows, like at Rose Music Hall, you know, and I've watched somebody do a set, and then they unplug and they get off stage and they come to me first, and they're like, I know you from NoCoast, or like, Kelly Betz, what's up, you know, like, that's happened a bunch of times now.
Yeah.
And that's like the best feeling, and getting to have people know my work, that I know they're fans and they're fans of me, you know, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So have you noticed a change of yourself, like from when you started NoCoast to now?
In what way? As a person?
As a person, yeah.
Yeah, not as an artist, but as a person? Or
well,
as an artist?
Or both. Or both.
Okay. As an artist, I'm much more focused. I have a clearer sense of who I am, what my place in this is, which is just a dorky guy, you know? Like, I'm just...
The dorky, lovable guy.
Yeah, and I got like a better fashion sense now. Dorky, lovable guy is a great way to sum it up. I appreciate that. I'm just a nice dude that's totally just never gonna be cool, you know. And so
yeah, you would last to the end of the film.
Yeah, genius. That is a genius comment. And then as far as me as a human, I mean, God, I've gotten my life together so much, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I've actually noticed.
I appreciate that. Here we're getting into the heart of the podcast. This is what you want. This is what you want them to say.
Yeah.
You go, you ready? You ready? I've lived on the street. I've lived on the street before. I haven't always kept a roof over my head or had food to eat, just from my own fault. And, you know, I've suffered from addiction. I brought that on myself. Too much drinking. You get the affliction that is addiction. And been in a world of chaos, you know, like
chaos.
Yeah, just living in like squats and illegal places, and living with like, you know, 9 other people, you know, 5 other people for a lot of my life. And
I guess that changed a bit when you moved to Columbia.
Well, that's kind of how I grew up, not in chaos, but I grew up with 7 other people in the house that weren't all related to me. My parents allowed foster kids to stay at our home growing up.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, there's a little bit of chaos, I guess, you know what I mean? My parents let us drink, and they let us do drugs in the house, to an extent. And so I kind of came from this weird place, and then, so as I, was in my later teens and moved out, I just kept going with that, and I ended up, like, letting homeless people stay with me that were young and old, you know, and getting involved in like the traveling circuit with hitchhikers and train hoppers, and also just traveling punk bands and traveling rappers and being around them a lot, and hanging out with a lot of drug dealers, which kind of comes with the rap thing. You know, they're really, their hands are you know, they're kind of one and the same in a lot of instances.
Yeah. Do you still do that now?
No, I don't. I'm got 16 months. 16 and a half months completely sober. I don't even drink soda anymore.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, I finally just bottomed out. You know, it's like, it's not a straight black hole that sucks you in. It's like a long flush down the toilet. So you kind of come back to the rim, and then you go back down again. You come to the rim. And so it's like, I've just been up and down for so long. And finally just really... This time I got my shit together. Yeah, I finally just totally bottomed out. I would rather not talk about all that entails.
Yeah, that's fine.
But the long and short of it is I, you know, was, along with all these other things wrong in my life, I was physically sick. I had a cold I couldn't get rid of. My mom was like, would you try quitting drinking and smoking weed? You know what I mean? I was like, no, like that was some absurd thing to not drink during the day and smoke weed in the morning, you know, like that was some crazy thing. So I did that, and I started going through withdrawal, and I realized I was an addict. An addict, not an addict. An addict. I guess I did it backwards. Realized I was an addict. I thought I was a basement this whole time. Yada, yada, yada. Now I'm clean and sober, and I just bought a car this last weekend.
Yeah.
I told you
oh
I
my
was going
gosh,
to do that.
that's awesome.
So I bought a Subaru. I'm living in a place with just one other guy who's also, struggling with getting away from alcohol. And it's like
So
a
you can
nice
totally help him
apartment.
out with that,
It's
yeah.
not downtown, like it's got like a fence around it. You know what I mean? And like there's this like big garden. I don't tend to the garden, but there is a big garden there. So I'm not living communally. We're not having travelers stay with me.
Right.
I'm away from a lot. I'm trying to think. I got health insurance now. My life is so. I got a bank account. Like I think I went 8 years without a bank account.
Wow.
And I have one, and so it's weird because I'm basically like, I had to start from when I was like 16, 17. You know what I mean? I had to start my life back up again.
Yeah.
It's on track. It's going good.
So, what do you do to relax?
What do I do to relax? Heroin.
Shut up.
Oh man, I really just kind of like go and go and go and go, and sometimes I find editing video relaxing. Sometimes I find writing songs on guitar relaxing, but not always. A lot of times it's a job. A lot of times I've just set a deadline for myself, and which is most of the time.
Yeah.
And so honestly, I just like zonk out and watch TV or movies. Like I'm not a nerd, but I wish I was. I don't have enough time to just be a fanboy. That's probably the more honest answer. I'd say if I didn't do music, I would just be a full-blown fanboy. But I just don't even have time to do that, Like,
yeah.
I also enjoy watching people critique movies and TV, and so I like, I don't know if you're familiar with Red Letter Media, like Half in the Bag, or,
No, I haven't.
do you know, like Cinemassacre, that guy with the glasses, Nostalgia Critic? Or Nostalgia Chick?
Nostalgia Critic sounds familiar.
You would like, that's your kind of thing, for sure.
There is this one guy on YouTube, I think it's called like Cinefax or Cinefix, where they're like doing
Everything wrong.
and all that kinds of
I'm
stuff.
subscribed to that. I watch those too. Totally, yeah. So I probably watch as much people making fun of movies as I do movies.
Yeah.
But right now I'm like watching entire directors' and bodies of works. I just did James Cameron, and now I'm doing Martin Scorsese. And I love cartoons. I like cartoons a lot. I like South Park, and I've been watching a lot of Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. Oh my gosh.
So I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of a kid.
Yeah.
Still,
Oh, so am I.
But
So am
whatever. But yeah.
I mean, you can look at my movies and you can see how much of my movies are more family and kids than.
Yeah, totally. I feel you.
So, like, do you ever get any spare time?
Yeah, I try to go to as many shows. I try to go to as many concerts as I can. I probably go to like at least two concerts a week. But I also work concerts for money. That's what I do.
Yeah.
You know this, but I'm a stagehand. So I work at the Missouri Theater, Jesse Auditorium, occasionally the Blue Note, Trips Children's Theater, and I was working at the legendary Blue Fugue.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
Before it shut down.
Before it shut down. That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I
that
could
is.
do a whole podcast on the shutting down of the Fugue.
Yeah, let's not get into it.
Yeah. But yeah, in my spare time, I go to concerts, and I love it. Again, I'm just such a big fan of media, and that's how I go about being an artist.
Yeah.
That I'm trying to create something that I would like to absorb, and so I try to stay in the mind frame of the consumer.
Yeah. And so, I'm actually curious, like, with your NoCoast Rap YouTube channel, like, have you guys tried monetizing the videos?
Yeah, we're monetized, and we get a check from that, and
Awesome.
that money immediately goes back into NoCoast, to us flying other rappers out. Because the majority of the guys are just trying to come up and try to make a name for themselves, and so they'll travel and get a hotel themselves, or will just buy their hotel. But then some people cost like $1,000, $2,000 to have out. The most I think we've ever spent was about $3,000 on somebody.
Wow.
And so, they'll want their flight paid, and that would be hundreds of dollars, and then they want a few $100s on top of that, as well as a hotel, and we'll do all that, and then sometimes like give them like others, we'll pay for meals and stuff on top of that. So
yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, so the money we make from the venues and from the videos, it all goes back to the rappers. So I kind of want to comment on that, just that a lot of people think that rap should be handled like a business, and we're
not
very
always,
much,
is it?
Yeah, we're very much not of that mind. Again, I come from like the DIY punk world, where you use words more like artist collective, you know, and so we function like that. We function as a tool to help rappers promote themselves, and for us to work as a springboard to get rappers into the world of rap, or to elevate the level that they're performing on.
Yeah. What do you like most about your job with NoCoast Rap?
Oh shoot, just all the opportunities it's provided. Even if I'm paying for a lot of it to happen, even if I'm spending money on it, it's just an excuse, or it's been a way that I've gotten to hang out with a ton of people I'm fans of. So like guys like Thesaurus, who I was watching when I was a teenager, just destroy people in battles, like he's like the Michael Jordan of battle rap, right? And he was this legend, and then I got to spend a weekend with him, and we got to like stay up all night talking and freestyling, and then he's like sleeping on my girlfriend's floor, we're like eating lunch together. He just becomes, watching somebody who's a legend remain a legend, but also become a human, and become an acquaintance. And some of these guys that I'm huge fans of, like Isaac Knox from Orlando, Florida, I've always been a fan of his from the first time I saw him, and now we're friends. He's been through, like, I've seen him like 10 times over the past 3 years or so, and we're like honestly friends, and I remain a huge fan of his, and so that's just so rewarding to have a group of peers that makes you want to do the best you can, and shows you the possibility that you really can, like, rise to another level, and go to a higher echelon, and that it's possible to be great at what you do.
Yeah. So Isaac Knox, like, who else are your heroes?
Oh man, who else are my heroes in battle rap that I've met, or just in general?
Just in general.
Just in general. Okay, I'd say Iron Solomon, who is from New York City, and he innovated personal attacks in battles. Like, he was one of the first guys to show up to a written battle and have lines about that person. And it's like, oh my god, his accolades. Like, I won't waste the minute that it would take to name them here, because I doubt many like hardcore battle fans are listening. But he's just done more. Him and Thesaurus have done so much on paper, it's hard to comprehend.
The what?
Iron Solomon. Him and Thesaurus.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a great name. Thesaurus is definitely worth it. He's just so funny, and he's so consistent. Another huge innovator. Like, there's the way people rapped before Thesaurus and the way people rapped after they heard him rap, because it's just relevant multi-syllable rhymes. Before that it was like you're trying to rhyme and you're like a lyrical spiritual miracle, and you rhymed, but what does that mean? I got the plan to say I'm a dragon slayer. It's like, all right, what is it? Whatever. It's just, you're just rhyming for no reason. Then there was guys that were like to the point. That were like, I'll make your head hurt. You got an orange shirt. And it's like, so that barely rhymes, right? That's a very simple rhyme, but I said something about the moment. The source kind of took those two schools of mind and put them in a stew together. And I can't even imitate what he does, but it's a very rhyming rhyme, and then also very poignant. So it's just super impressive what he does.
Yeah.
And he transitioned he started out as a freestyler, and then the written leagues came out, and he continued to kill it. He just transitioned into the new era.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so for those who are listening in, or even watching the YouTube video, like, are you in a relationship?
With who? A girl or a rapper?
Well... dating relationship.
No, I'm not. Nope. I'm dating myself. Being sober is weird, and my life is weird. And right now it's like I hang out at concerts. I hang out at rap concerts and punk concerts where people are just like putting it back, you know, like smoking tons of weed, popping pills, drinking, you know, I mean, at best they're getting drunk, you know what I mean, like, and then here I am, like, club soda, please, you know what I mean, like,
hardly anyone sober would be there, so
yeah, it's
except
weird.
for you, I mean,
yeah, I'm still living in this world of people whose lives are mostly in shambles,
yeah,
like, to be completely honest, and then I don't want to date somebody like that, even though I'm kind of that person. So I don't know. I'm in a transitional period. But Thesaurus, if you're listening,
you're not. They are.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, you know, I mean, it's it's a small city too. I think I've dated everybody already.
Yeah, I know one.
Her sister.
You right out said it. Awesome.
I said it. I didn't say which one though. So.
Yeah. I'm not gonna bring it up either. So. And so, just to kind of like slow things down a bit for this interview, like, what's your favorite pig out food?
My favorite pig out food? I like anything you can eat with chips. Okay, check this out. All right, I'm gonna tell you what I do, and it may sound kind of crazy. Okay?
And it may sound almost like a rap.
Yeah, right. And I'm gonna rhyme it. No, there will be no rapping. I was not asked to rap, to bring any raps.
No, you don't have to.
Okay, what you do is you start frying up some olive oil. You don't want to use canola oil, vegetable oil. That shit's really unhealthy. You start, if you're gonna fry something, start frying up some olive oil.
I do have that.
Okay, we got the first step. We'll see if anything else. You throw in some chopped onions, some red pepper, and I like spinach, personally. Throw in some spinach. Then you crack 4 eggs in there. Farm fresh eggs if you got them. You chop up a gluten-free quinoa imitation chicken patty.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Chop that up. Real like breaded, it's kind of falling everywhere. Quinoa is very crumbly once it's cooked. You throw that in there. You stir it all up. When you turn the heat off, because your eggs are scrambled, everything's... Oh, you put black beans in there if you got them. Put black beans in there, okay? So you're talking like 2 pounds of food at this point. Black beans. Scramble it all up together, right? It should be a mess. Turn the heat off. Throw a giant tablespoon, I mean like, a big chunk of mayonnaise, however brave you're feeling. This will kind of turn it to a slop, okay? And give it a fun color. Stir that all up in there. Put it on a plate. Cover the entire top of it with ketchup and eat that with tortilla chips.
Wow.
That's my comfort food. And it's seriously, it's well over a pound of food. And I will eat all of that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just also just a shit ton of protein. Because I don't eat meat,
no kidding.
Obviously.
Yeah,
no. And so...
I remember.
Yeah, so I want to get just a ton of protein. It also makes you just feel good, like... And, yeah. I think that's kind of a symbol for my life, which is like... It's like, oh, I didn't eat for way too long, so now I'm going to do a whole bunch, like everything to the extreme, like...
I kind of do that sometimes.
Yeah. No, for real. Yeah, before I came over here, I had 3 falafels, hummus, a rice and vegetables thing, and 2 bowls of chocolate cereal with peanut butter in it.
What's a falafel?
Falafel is also made from chickpeas, and it's like I don't know exactly how they do it. It's like fried chickpea patty, so it's almost like a hamburger but smaller, and it has like spices in it. It's not spicy, but it's all these spices in it.
Yeah,
I highly recommend it. It's awesome. It's awesome, and you get like falafel, like wraps. Yeah, they're great. Yeah, cool. I love Middle Eastern food. My dad's Lebanese. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, I'm white as a sock, but I had a beard when I was like, I've had a beard, full beard since I was 17. So.
Wow.
Yeah. And
what is your family heritage?
It's just like my name sounds, which is Kelly Betz. Kelly is my mom's last name, and so I'm Irish and German. Mostly, but both my parents are like white mutts because my dad is part brown, like I said, he's part Lebanese, and my mom's part like English and maybe a little bit of Scottish, and then I think like my dad said he might have some French in him, so it's like I don't know, everything white, and then a Lebanese grandma, So,
yeah.
But my dad, he's a brown guy. He's got dark skin. You can like kind of tell he's Middle Eastern.
I do believe that is it.
Okay.
We've been talking for quite some time, actually.
You can ask me my social security number?
No. Now people will try to find it.
I know, yeah. People will be trying.
They'll be trying, but you gave them false numbers.
Right.
Alright, so thank you for doing this with me.
Thanks for having me on. This is really fun.
Awesome.
This is cool.
Everyone, this is Kelly Betz.
Peace, guys. See you later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. It was fun on the radio here today.